Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another Cryptocurrency Alliance Bitcoin Breakdown series. I'm your boy Dave Rodriguez, one of the head traders right here inside of the Alliance. Today is Monday, guys. We had a nice little exciting weekend. As always, Bitcoin decides to make some moves here and there. I really thought we were going to see that bounce after we saw that nice rejection off that 6,900 area. We saw some bounce to the upside. Bulls didn't show up. We'll talk a lot about that in today's breakdown. Thanks for showing up, guys. For those of you who are back, welcome back. If it's your first time, whether you guys are new, this is your first time trading, you haven't taken that first trade, maybe you've just taken a few. We've got a lot of free value inside all of these breakdowns. We've also added a new part of the breakdown in the backside. We're also going to trade live on our account to give you guys some insight on what we're trading, what pairs we're trading, and why we're trading them. And then you guys can do your own research as always and check out those trades to see if there's some opportunity based on the way that you trade. Those of you who've traded before and are just looking for some extra eyes, some extra insight, maybe just some confirmation on the things that you're trading right now. Maybe you guys trade Bitcoin or you're looking to see if maybe the market's going bullish or bearish in our eyes here at the Alliance. We got a lot of great traders, a lot of experts on this end that analyze this market. So, like I said, whether you're new, a lot of value for you. Whether you've been here for a long time, a lot of good stuff, a lot of good information, and a lot of good people. As you know, if you've been in the industry for a long time, it's not always what you know, it's who you know and who you network with that can give you that information, guys. The best part about trading with the Alliance is the information that's given out for free. We give you guys a lot of free value, and then that's the best thing, and that's the hardest part about trading, is collecting all the free information. Once you've collected the information, you can then make your own analysis and then figure out where you think the market's going to go next. Make an educated decision with that information. So sit here every day with us, guys. Let us know what you think in the comments below about all these videos, different pairs you might want for us to analyze for you. We could also do some of that. Moving forward, we're going to do a lot more exciting things. And like I said, give away as much free value as we can. We'd love for you guys to check us out inside the free community, inside this free community, but we'd love for you guys to check us out inside of the Cryptocurrency Alliance community as well. We'll give you more information on that here in just a little while. But for you guys that stayed to the end of this video, it's only 10-15 minutes long every day, Monday through Friday. We're going to give away some free information. The Bitcoin Consumer Guide. It's a free ebook that we put together for you guys. It's a must read for anybody trying to make money inside this market. There's also a free video series helping with some basic training in the beginning and some terms and some different things you guys are going to want to know being inside this market. That's also free of charge, so stay tuned for that. What we're going to do is pull up some charts, and I will see you guys in just a minute. What's up, guys? Today we're going to talk about Coinbase and their ETC support. As we know, a couple of months back, they announced that they will be allowing trading, adding ETC to their platform, ETC being Ethereum Classic. We haven't seen too much out of that pair, nothing like we saw out of last year's announcement of their last coin, which was insane. It went through the roof in no time. But this coin, you know, when it was announced and it was launched, it was very basic. We went from about $13.50, I think, now to a high of $17 and something. I've been in since around 13 and change. But the news is tomorrow, Coinbase will allow inbound transfers of their new crypto, ETC, Ethereum Classic. So keep an eye out for that, guys. We might see a little spike in that area tomorrow. We've been in that trade for quite some time already. Like I said, it was purely a fundamental-driven trade that we took back when they announced it. Everybody thought it was going to be a huge bounce, 50, 100%, but it was nothing like that. The market's been completely bearish, which is going to drag that news down. So we've been looking for that news to see when it was going to launch. They said this is not a final date. Anything could happen, but they said everything looks good. Tomorrow should be the day they allow in and out inbound transfers, stuff like that, for people to load and hold Ethereum Classic, ETC, in that wallet. As you know, last year, Coinbase was the #1 app downloaded in all of the online downloads, all the app downloads. So it's a very popular app. It's a very popular place for people to buy crypto. There's only 4 that are supported on there. So this 5th edition will be very nice, because the reason it's a big deal, It's not because it's Ethereum Classic. It's because it makes it available to a lot more people that want to just buy from their cell phone off a quick, easy app by just pushing a button. Crypto isn't the easiest thing in the world, guys. Some people, it may be very hard for them to figure out how to buy. It discourages a lot of people. Remember, only 1% of the world is actually using this, actually even knows what Bitcoin is and knows how to use these exchanges. It takes a little while to learn how to buy the coins, where to buy them at, how many exchanges you actually need. But now that Binance has kind of stepped things up, as well as Coinbase is now allowing you to store 25 more coins and tokens they're talking about being able to do in the next coming months. Just being able to store them, not trade them. ETC will be able to be traded. Point is, guys, Coinbase is used by a lot of individuals. Those who know, probably a big percentage of that 1% know what Coinbase is and how to use it. So ETC will be available to them to trade off that platform. We should see a nice spike, and in the next year, see a huge volume, or see huge volume rather, out of ETC, Ethereum Classic on Coinbase. So with that said, guys, let's dive into some of the Bitcoin talk. Over the weekend, on Sunday, action looked good, guys. With this right here, we had a bounce right off that 6,900. When I say 68, we're talking 68, 69. I've been in a range. I want to see 68 being touched. Let's just say that now. I'm not done here. I want 68 to be touched. I don't care if it's pinpoint. I don't care if it goes through it, but I need it to be touched. 69 wasn't that great for me, but I thought we might see that bounce we've been waiting for. Maybe back up to 38.2, touch the MAs, and then this little trend line right here, and then maybe back down. We didn't get that, though, guys. The bulls did not show up. The volume did not stay. We got a nice squeeze bounce up to 7,200 before completely failing again down to our area. But notice, guys, we've had this area drawn in here for 3 reasons. Because we are in that downtrend and we want 6,800 to be retested. The reason we want 6,800 to be retested, I'll remind you guys, we did not get this. This is one of the biggest reasons I kept saying I need this to happen, and it hasn't happened yet. So I am not going bullish, even though for the first time I said I am 50-50. 50% bullish, 50% bearish. Guys, to remember this pattern that we absolutely smashed. I mean, we crushed this pattern when we traded it, guys. But one thing didn't happen, okay? There's no real entry. Those of you who like my buy limit, sell stop, buy stop, not limits, but sell stop and buy stop trades where you actually blast through. I love trading Bitcoin that way because when Bitcoin decides to go away, it decides to go that way in a pretty fast manner, like this here. So if you set a buy stop here, you could have caught this trade. But the rule for a head and shoulder trade is, hold on, this doesn't look right. Let me fix this. Okay, so a rule to a head and shoulder trade is, it's driving me crazy, guys, I've got OCD. So the rule to this trade is you trade starting here on the retest, okay? The rule is when it breaks the neckline, the trade is now pretty good, but you need to see a quick retest, and that's your entry. We never got that, guys. We never got that at all. It just blasted through. Okay, so we're about to see that retest. So this is a place that I would like to enter a trade if you're trying to get back into Bitcoin. We can keep a tight stop loss because the area of the entry, we don't have to worry about. I mean, if Bitcoin went below, 7,200 or 6,300 here, we would completely be out of that trade, but we could keep it a lot tighter than that because if it got really far below this trend line, this 68.1, and this huge support region, which was a huge resistance for a long time, and we blasted through it with no hesitation, which is why I kept saying all the way up, all the way up here, we're going to see that retest, and it's going to be a beautiful entry. But then FOMO set in, people started buying out of fear, and we saw these last 2-day candles. And then we completely collapsed right on this candle here as we were retesting. I said we're going to see the fall as of now. This is where we're going to see it. And we got another spike to the highs before we completely collapsed. I've been looking for a retest back up here somewhere, specifically this 38.2 area, right around 7,500 to touch the MAs. We haven't gotten that yet. It hasn't satisfied me. I don't care if it happens. What I do care about first is that 61.8 trend line. There's 3 areas, the 61.8, the 6,800 support, and this trend line for the third touch. 1, 2, 3. Break or bounce, this is my area. We've now entered the pink zone that I drew a long time ago, and we are inside that area right now. I want that 6,800 to 6,700 area to be breached. Whether it decides to give me a bounce back candle where it bounces and then comes back, looks like this, where it goes green and then completely fails the other way. I want to see something like that happen and maybe come back to the upside before it falls again. But we will see, guys. If I was going to take a trade here, those of you trying to get into Bitcoin, this is where I would take it. As soon as we got some denial right here in the 68 to 6,700 region, if it started to hold, I would take that trade and set your stop losses in this area somewhere. Those of you who like to hold it for the long time, I would set a bigger stop loss, because swing trading, you need a bigger stop loss. But intraday traders, if you want that quick bounce, as soon as you get that entry in here somewhere or wherever it stops, and you get a few candles to consolidate, I would think about taking that entry and then putting a nice quick stop loss down in here. That way, if it does spike down through, you didn't lose very much. Remember, guys, trading is about winning and losing, okay? You're not going to win them all. If you don't take trades, you're not going to win them. So you have to be willing to lose some trades as long as your rules are there. You're not just taking a trade just to take it. This is a nice area of support. This is the magic zone. This is the golden zone that I've been talking about for quite some time. Right here, where all this rejection is, guys. This is my entry zone for you guys that are looking to get into that Bitcoin. And then if it does collapse below, we look for the 6,300 area next. If it falls from there, it is going to break these lows for sure. There's nothing really stopping it. I mean, if it hits here and it breaks here, no one knows what's going to happen next. Let's go down to a little bit shorter of a chart. As you can see, guys, we've almost hit the area that I've been talking about, that golden retest zone, and we're actually starting to drop a little bit more right now. We're $74 away from the first area. I mean, so when I say 6,800 or 7,200, I don't mean it's going to pinpoint hit it. If it does, I'll announce it at pinpoint hit it, and that'll be great. But we're looking for a zone, an area, a region, something around 6,800, 6,900, 6,700. Anything in there I'll take. So it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to take it at 6,800. If it dips below, I might take a $6,700 entry. Or I could have taken a $6,900 entry and just, had a little bit more risk on my stop loss there. But I don't want to sit in front of the computer all day. If I see an entry and I'm close enough to it, I'm going to get in. I'm going to set my stop loss where I think it needs to be, and then I'm going to get out. What I want to talk about now, guys, since we've looked at this, since we've covered Bitcoin, I think we're going to see that retest off there and see some consolidation. Let's see what it shows us next. I've always told you guys to draw these boxes, and then I want to go over some other things. Draw you a little box there and see what happens. I mean, look, it's looking like it's going to break out the bottom and retest in here somewhere. I'd love to see it happen. I wouldn't even mind if it came down to the 78.6 and broke out that other way, because that whole region, I'm still going to be bearish. And then if it does a nice rejection, we'll see about that next bullish leg, which everybody's waiting for. So, guys, we've taken 4 trades. Well, excuse me, I've taken 4 trades here with the team, and we've recommended to look into these pairs, to do your own research, to find your own entries. Remember, this is not financial advice. This is not a financial advisory channel. This is just us giving you some of the trades that we do on a day-to-day basis, let you know what we're doing, what we see in the market, and hoping you guys do your research and decide whether to take the trade or leave it alone on your own. So what I want you guys to remember is trading in these situations where Bitcoin dominance is in that upper 40%, it makes it very risky to trade these altcoins, because all that money is in Bitcoin right now. But when Bitcoin dominance starts to go down, the money is going to flow in one of 2 places. It's going to flow into the altcoins, which makes it altcoin season, or it's going to flow into Tether or TUSD. TUSD is something I keep telling you guys to look into. It's backed by actual money. I'm not going to get too much into it, but I want you guys to look into it. It's kind of like USDT, but it's supposedly been audited, which USDT hasn't. Been threatened to be audited, but it hasn't happened yet. Long story short, guys, take a look at TUSD and USDT for yourself, because those are the places the money's going to flow into after people take it out of Bitcoin, because most people want to keep it in the market. They're just trying to figure out where to put it. So let's take a look at some other things, guys. The trades that we've taken in the last week or so that I've announced to you guys, that let you guys look at. Let's look over the first one. I don't know which one was the first one, but EOS. This is the only trade I'm still in, guys. Remember, I always tell you that I get in, I get out. When I see rejection and I'm intraday trading, or I'm just taking this trade to a certain percentage and I get out, it's usually because I risk a lot of money. And if I go minus 8 to 10%, I get out of the trade. If I go plus, 15, 20%, anywhere in that region, I get out of the trade. But if I get that 10%, I like to get out, because I like to get my money and secure it. in this type of market, because at any point you can lose that 10% back. So right here, this was my entry. This is the only trade I'm still in. All the other trades I've actually closed to 10 or 15% profit right now. The reason I've kept this trade in is because it's showing all the signs of still being bullish. There's no reason to close this trade, even though Bitcoin is falling. As you can see, the trade's still rising. So I am up 9% on this trade. If this trade showed any sign of bullish, I would close it. But it's still showing, or excuse me, bearish signs, I would close it. It's still showing complete bullish signs right now. So I'm going to hold this trade probably up to the MA here. And then we'll see what happens. IOTA, I've already closed. It's spiked up. I did not get out, and I told you guys last Friday that I'm going to ride this until the wick is filled. I always go a little bit short of my goal because you don't want to get too greedy. What's that right there? A couple bucks. So I went, kind of big on IOTA. And when it shot up and I missed it, I said I was going to go till the wick was filled. So I set my exit here. I let IOTA go up. I believe I got about 12% out of this trade. And I was right, about 12% out of that trade. So, EOS, I'm up 10, 12%. I'm up 24% right now, guys. Okay, I did take a loss here. I decided to close only because the market is so bearish and there's not a lot of volume. This was a risky trade when I told you guys I took it. I closed it up here, though, once it started going back to... I lost it was about 6%, so I closed it right in here, something like that. On that spike right there, I saw it going back up, and I decided to get out. It was still not being able to get past the MA, so I decided to take a loss there. Remember, trading is about winning and losing, guys. You're never going to be perfect, so don't be scared to take a trade. Okay, Wax. Another great trade. Look at my exit, guys. It was perfect. Exit was based on the left side. I see this here. I know we're going to get some rejection. Why not get out instead of losing all this on basic retest? Maybe it can come all the way back down here and retest before it takes off again. But my call was to get in, get out of Wax. And what did we get out of Wax? This was my entry. And again, my entry is based on the left, guys. I look to the left. I see rejection. I saw it over here. Rejection, rejection. As soon as it hit it and rejected, I entered that trade when this candle closed. I got a rejection candle here on this red one. Rejected the area. As soon as it closed, my entry was here. No drawdown. Oh, well, excuse me, a little bit of drawdown here, but you know what I'm saying? Right into profit, and it's still going. Could I have stayed in this trade? Yes. But Wax isn't my favorite. The market's extremely bullish. A lot of people like EOS. There's a whole community behind EOS. That's one of the biggest reasons I stayed in. This one, it could still go bullish. It could hit the MA, but I got in. I got my profit, and I got out at 17%. Excuse me. Yeah, 17%. So, guys, let's do the math here. Okay? EOS, up 12% and rising. Up 12% here, that's 24. Loom, down 6. So that's 18%. And here, 17%. So that's 25% in 2 days of trading. Let's imagine I was trading a $10,000 account. I'd be up $12,500. Once I get the API linked up to Coinbase, I'm going to start trading from Coinbase. I traded Coinbase a lot. I'm going to start trading on Coinbase, and I'm going to link my Binance account to Coinbase. That's going to allow you guys to see the growth on my account. That's going to allow me to trade live with total transparency. So you guys can see the trades that we win, the trades that we lose. You can see the growth on the account. We're still working out the details of the account, but I want you guys to be able to trade alongside of us and just be able to do your research when you see us looking at a trade, whether we're in, whether we're trying to get in. It gives you some insight and lets you know what other groups of traders are doing and what they're looking at, because you guys might be looking at some really good trades and that we want to know about. So put it in the comments below, in the description below, and we will find it and communicate with you guys through that. But we did very good, guys. We're up 25% in that area. We got one trade still riding out. I've closed the rest either in win or loss. Quick recap on Bitcoin, guys. 6,800. Wow, we got that spike. 68.15, guys. Look at that. We got the pinpoint touch live on the channel. I mean, we definitely touched it. I'm satisfied with this, but now I need to see 4 or 5 of these candles stack up right here. We're not showing any real bullish pattern to bounce back up. I mean, we are showing somewhat of a downward wedge here, and that's a sign of maybe this thing being able to come back to the upside. I like to play with stuff like this, guys. And if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. I'm not going to force a pattern on it. But we got a definite bearish channel here, more than a wedge, really. We're seeing a little bit of rejection. This candle stays up in here, guys. Like I said, I don't need it to stay there. I just need to touch it. And we definitely touched 60. What's that? 68.21. It's pretty close. We still haven't touched the 61.8, but guys, I don't draw it perfect every time. Maybe I'm a little bit off on the wicks or something like that. So that Fibonacci still stands, guys. Remember, when you pull one of these Fibonacci's up here, they can stand for a long time. We got some nice downside. We've retested that 68.1 or 61.8. We've retested these lows in here. I would not be surprised if this thing just blasted back up to the upside, to 7,700. That this is not a call or anything, guys. I just wouldn't be surprised with the way Bitcoin acts and the way Bitcoin is. We've seen the nice retest. A lot of traders know this is the complete head and shoulder pattern on a daily chart, and it looks great. So don't jump in too soon. Those of you who want to get that nice short setup, now's your time. Let's make sure we don't get a spike to the downside first. Maybe set a buy stop up at 7,000, up in here. See if it blasts through and just takes off to the upside, and take your chances that way, guys. There's many ways to take this trade. What is up, guys? That's all I have for you today. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for your support. I told you guys earlier, please comment below. Let us know some things that you guys would love for us to analyze for you. Love for us to go over for you, maybe talk about and have some discussion. We'd love to hear your feedback. Please like the video and let us know what you thought about the analysis. Comment below. Let us know what you thought about it. Put some pairs in there you might want to analyze. Did we do anything wrong on the analysis that we made that you think that we missed or maybe we just messed up on? Everybody's got a different set of eyes and a different trading rules and different trading patterns. So we're not always right. We try to give you as much free value as we can. And we've done very well in the trades that we've taken live here on the channel. We're, 4 for 5? And that's really great, more 80%. So I did tell you guys about a couple of free things that we're going to give away. We got the Bitcoin Consumer Guide. It's a free ebook, great for anybody looking to get some information, some additional information, whether you're new, whether you're an experienced trader. This is something that you should read. There's also that video series that we're going to give away, a training series, compliments of the Alliance, that we're going to give away to you guys. All you got to do is look below in the description. You're going to see a link. It says bitcoinconsumerguide.com/YT. That is for YouTube. Okay, guys, that's bitcoinconsumerguide.com/YT. That's for YouTube. So grab your free copy today, guys. Don't waste any more time. And I will see you guys tomorrow on the next Bitcoin breakdown. Now, get out of here.